Etta sprinted through the forest, her feet pounding the mossy ground as if the very earth urged her onward. The weaver's words echoed in her mind. The storm approaches. I have woven its path. The threads are broken, but the pattern remains. She couldn't shake the image of the tapestry, a dark vortex of clouds, the sea churning as if ready to swallow the world whole. The forest, usually alive with the sounds of birds and rustling leaves, was now eerily silent, as if holding its breath. By the time she reached the village, dusk had given way to night, the sky blanketed in thick, swirling clouds that blotted out the stars. A chill breeze swept through the narrow streets, carrying with it the scent of rain and something else, something ancient and foreboding. Villagers, sensing the storm's approach, had begun shuttering their windows and securing their doors. Lamps flickered in the darkness, casting long, trembling shadows that seemed to dance with the rhythm of the wind. Etta made her way to the village square, where a small crowd had gathered. They were murmuring, exchanging anxious glances at the darkening sky. At the center of the group stood Melis, the village elder, a woman whose wisdom was sought in times of uncertainty. Her face was etched with lines of age and experience, her eyes clouded with concern as she looked up at the brewing storm. Etta, Melis called out as she spotted the young woman, her voice carrying an unusual urgency. What news from the forest? Did you see the weaver? Etta paused, catching her breath. No, she replied, her voice strained. The studio was empty, but I found a tapestry, a new one. It shows a storm, just like this. And there was a note. The villagers fell silent, drawing closer as Etta recounted her discovery. She described the swirling clouds, the tumultuous sea, and the chilling message left behind by the weaver. Each word she spoke seemed to deepen the sense of dread that hung over the square. Melis furrowed her brow. The weaver's tapestries have always been strange, she said slowly. But this feels different. It's almost as if he's trying to warn us. Warn us of what? A voice called out from the crowd. It was Kale, a young fisherman, his face pale with worry. A storm? We've seen plenty of those. Why would this one be any different? Etta shook her head. I don't know, she admitted. But something about it felt alive. As if the storm wasn't just a part of the image, but something real, something coming straight for us. A murmur spread through the crowd, like the rustling of leaves before a gale. Fear and uncertainty were palpable, crackling in the air like static before lightning. Melis raised a hand, silencing the crowd. We have all heard the tales, she said, her voice firm despite the tremor in it. The weaver's tapestries show more than just scenes, they capture something deeper. But whether this is a prophecy or a coincidence, we cannot ignore it. We must prepare. But how do we prepare for something like this? A woman asked, her eyes wide with fear. If this storm is truly unlike any other, what can we do? We do what we always do, Melis replied, her voice resolute. We brace for the worst, and we weather the storm together. The villagers began to disperse, hurrying to secure their homes and gather supplies. Etta lingered, her mind racing with unanswered questions. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this storm than met the eye. The weaver had been a mystery, his art a source of wonder and confusion, but this felt different. This felt like a message, a warning of something beyond their understanding. As the first raindrops began to fall, Etta made her way to the edge of the village. She couldn't go back to her cottage, not yet. She needed to understand what was happening, to make sense of the fear gnawing at her heart. The weaver's studio might hold more answers, hidden in the sketches and threads left behind. If she was going to unravel this mystery, she would need to face the storm head-on. With a final glance at the village, she turned back toward the forest, determined to uncover the truth behind the weaver's final tapestry. As she stepped into the darkened woods, the wind picked up, howling through the trees like a warning. The storm was coming, and with it, a revelation that would change everything she thought she knew. In the distance, lightning split the sky, illuminating the forest in a brief, blinding flash. Etta quickened her pace, her heart pounding in rhythm with the thunder that followed. The weaver's words echoed in her mind once more. The threads are broken, But the pattern remains. Whatever fate awaited her, she knew she had no choice but to confront it. The storm was not just a force of nature, it was a key, a doorway into the unknown. And she was about to step through it.